I know that a lot of us are trying to find ways to help relieve this stress. And so I want to do like a little test or experiment. So I want you guys to think about all your stressors right now, all your finals next week, and stress your guys' self out just for a little bit. I know it sounds cruel, but just try it with me, okay? Now I want you guys to look at these photos and imagine that little dog is giving you kisses on your face, that little dork is playing goofing around with you, or that little kitten is trying to catch your hair or your hand. So schools like this could have animals every single day, and you can go to these animals and feel this stress relief that I'm going to show you guys can be very beneficial to college students or any other grade in schools. So I get stressed out a lot. And when I interact with animals, I notice that my stress is often relieved and I feel happier. But when I'm on campus, since I've been to college, I don't have access to animals as easily. And so I feel a lot more stressed, and I feel like I've got nowhere to go relieve it. And so I wanted a solution, so I did some research to see what schools can do to help relieve the stress with kids. And I found that therapy dogs or therapy cats or therapy animals can be very beneficial to be on school campuses. And I'm going to go through these points to show how stress and anxiety is actually increasing, as we all know, in schools throughout the world, and how schools are lacking in giving aid to these students, which causes a lot of negative effects in the future, and how therapy animals can be very beneficial to relieve stress as they increase endorphins in yourself, in your body, and kind of act as a scapegoat for when you feel stressed out during school. And also I'm going to go over somehow ways we can actually implement this in schools, such as finding solutions to some counter arguments and becoming more involved. So as we all know, we all feel it, a lot of us suffer through finals or through school every day. And so schools don't do a lot to actually help that. Yes, they have therapy counselors on campus, but it's kind of hard to always go there to make an appointment, whatever. It's kind of difficult. So I found in a U.S. health statistic, college students' health in the United States, that 15.2% of college students have felt depressed in the past 2 weeks. And 28.5% of college students have felt anxiety or overwhelm in the past 2 weeks. And I know these percentages sound really tiny, but if you think about how many college students are on a campus, 28% is kind of a lot of students. And also in an article, The Benefits of Therapy Dogs in Classrooms and on College Campuses, it showed how anxiety and stress disorders are starting at even younger ages, such as 8 to 10% of 13 to 18-year-olds are developing anxiety disorders. So this early exposure is really bad on you and your body. As shown as the effects of chronic stress on the human brain, from neurotoxicology to vulnerability to opportunity, it showed that the majority of the children or young adults who develop stress or anxiety disorders are 100% more likely to develop chronic stress in adulthood, which can be very hard with your job and your family balancing stuff. And also, when you have a chronic stress, there's a lot of negative effects that occur on your body. So, such as cortisol, which is your stress hormone that's released when you're stressed out. If you have chronic stress, your cortisol will keep releasing over and over again. And it actually starts damping your other hormones, such as your sleep hormone, your eating hormone, your happiness hormone, whatever, and it also attacks your immune system. So you're more susceptible to getting things like the flu or the cold, and or cancers or diabetes or other stuff like that. So it can be very negative on your body. So these things occur in schools. So it should be the school's issue to solve this problem, right? So I wanted to know how they could do that. And as I said earlier, therapy animals can be very beneficial. So it doesn't mean that a therapy dog needs to be, or a therapy cat needs to be in every school classroom, right? Just having a specific place on campus would even be better, as they are solutions to reducing stress and anxiety in students. So I wanted to see actually how, if this was true, like it actually reduces stress. And so I looked into a study written by Tracy Geist in her article, Conceptual Framework for Animal-Assisted Therapy. And she went over 2 studies. The first study was some women who had high-stress jobs, whether it was a nursing job or a principal job or whatever. And they kind of separated the two. In one group, they had dogs and cats and their pets with them. In the other room, they had just their friends and family with them. And so each group, a set of women, did their own work, like throughout their day. And at the end of the day, they found that the women who had their animals with them not only did better in their work, but were less stressed and a lot happier going home. So Geist also compared this with a children's study that they found, and they found that with children, when they were sitting with an animal or compared to a friend or an adult, the children when they were with animals were actually happier and did better on their grades and reading. They actually sometimes improved like 4 reading levels in the past 2 months. So I also want to know how this happened. Like, how do animals actually affect us? Why are they like this magic creature that can just make us feel better about ourselves? So I looked at an article by Cy Montgomery called Psychological Effects of Pets Are Profound. And she explains a study that happened in South Africa, and explained how the biochemistry in our brains actually changes when we see an animal. So they found that these 3 main hormones would actually increase. So dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins, which are all anxiety reducers. So they counteract anxiety effects in your body. So when you had an animal in a specific, say you had that kind of access in a classroom, we had an animal that we can go to if we felt stressed out, or if we, stressing about finals or just need to go somewhere. These animals can actually reduce your anxiety through your biochemistry, which is pretty impactful. So now that we have kind of like a solution that schools can do, how do we get it? I know there's going to be a lot of issues and a lot of people saying, oh no, let's not do it because it's probably not safe or whatever. So we got to come up with some solutions, some counter arguments, and show ways how to get involved. So a common counter argument that a lot of people say is allergies. I mean, how many of you guys, excuse me, have allergies to animals? Yeah, so there's some people who have allergies. So I found some solutions to that problem through the article Canine Visitors, the Influence of Therapy Dogs on Young Children's Learning and Well-Being in Classrooms and Hospitals. And that she gave 3 major solutions that I can think that a lot of schools can use, such as using a big auditorium, air-ventilated, air-purified room, which help reduce the amount of dander that's produced in the air, which dander is the protein that causes people to be allergic to animals. Or they can wash and groom the pets before they come visit the children or the students every time, so it also reduces the dander as well. Another popular way is using hypoallergenic pets, such as the Labradoodle or the Balinese cat. Yes, there is something called hypoallergenic cats that blew my mind. But I found the most popular way, because I know a lot of us don't like animals. I get that, that's fine. I found a really popular way is to have a specific spot or a library-based animal is what it's called. And so I found, an example of this was shown in Harvard in an article, Therapy Dog Offers Stress Relief at Work. There was this little Shih Tzu named Cooper, and he'd be in the library, and students or staff members would come in, bring their library card, and check him out like you would a textbook, and you get 30 minutes with him in his own specified room where he had toys, water, treats, bed, whatever. So students are able to go in, play with the dog, feel that stress relief, and go out if they wanted to. So now that we have some kind of solutions to either allergy issues or people who are not total fans of animals, how can we actually implement this in schools? So voting in our elections and stuff can help make it possible to allow animals on campuses, because I know right now a lot of public schools animals aren't allowed. So if we help vote, that can happen. And we also can get involved in our school boards meetings. So school board meetings is where your school district will get together and they'll talk about their rules and what they need to happen. And you can actually go there. I know this because my dad's a principal, so he tells me about this all the time. So you can actually go and give your ideas and show the statistics of this and prove the fact how having therapy animals on campuses can be very beneficial to students. So, as I've shown, in order to counteract anxiety and stress in schools and decreasing the the likelihood of negative effects on our bodies in the future, schools should implement therapy animals on campuses. And in order to do that, we need to come up with some solutions to some counter-arguments that people come up with and vote and participate in our school board meetings. So before I end, I wanted to point out that Cal Poly is doing an actually really good job with this. They're actually having therapy animals today in, I think, the lawn right there. Or no, in front of the library. The cats are in the lawn on a different day. But just during that one specific day. But I think we can do even better and have it be every single day and have a specific based animal on campus. So I encourage you guys to go. I'm going to the dog one today.